the proximity will be better for the people as well. I think in 2028, Trump cannot run for election anymore. That's the reason why you still have a lot of discussion about LGBTQ community, for instance, right? OG only talks about status quo, but now 4 years from now on, in which you need to prioritize to make sure that these, these Democrats are able to gain more popularity in the future for them to be able to win the election. What you need to talk about is which policy is going to be more popular and why endorsing a centrist government is going to be the best thing possible for them to actually gain the popularity, because it's easier for people to digest, it's easier for you to actually pander to the majority of the people for you to actually win the entire election. The first argument then, what went wrong exactly in the 2024 presidential election? I think there's 3 things. Firstly, you're already losing a lot of swing states, and you're losing a lot of swing states such as Pennsylvania, Arizona, etc., which are historically always Democrat, but in this year they all voted for Trump because they already voted for Trump exactly because they put out better policies for them to actually digest. This proves why attention has already been shifted, especially towards these far-right policies, right? I think exactly because after 4 years, your entire attention is going to be shifted as well. Knowing how Trump is so horrible, that's the reason why you would condemn a lot of these far-right or far-left, political candidates as well. But secondly then, I think the reason why Kamala Harris lost is because in a lot of swing states, you're not used to a female president. You're not used to a lot of these people as well, which is why radical far-left ideas such as abortion rights, for instance, or free healthcare is not something that's going to be populist and will never be populist, knowing how propaganda and current presidential influence is so strong as well. But thirdly, I think people are already accustomed to hate these far-left and far-right candidates because of 3 reasons. That A, in a lot of swing states, people do not vote for jail stay from the Green Party as well. People prioritize the centrist government because it is most moderate for them to actually understand which policies that can be put forward towards the people for them to get the benefits of it. Secondly then, Trump has already replaced plenty of the parliament members with his own allies. I think that's even more reason for people to hate these far-left or far-right candidates, because you know that they are that radical, they want to dominate the entire parliament if they have the chances to do that. Which is why most likely Democrats will push for even more far-left candidates. They're not going to be popular within society. They just think it's only going to be another form of domination within the parliament, which is why it's hard for them to gain this popularity in the end. But thirdly then, is the construction of echo chamber that happens in the rear side, right? Why is it far easier for them to have this echo chamber? Is it easier then for the social media companies to actually pander towards more of those kind of political candidates as well? We're just spread notions that Democrats are radical, that Democrats they only prioritize their own people, for instance, to talk about free healthcare, to talk about abortion, etc., that actually panders towards their own community in the end. If you go far left, you create even more echo chamber, exactly because you limit the political messaging that you want to provide for the people, you limit all the things that people are able to actually consume on the of the house, which is why it's harder for you to accumulate more of those votes for you to actually win the 2028 election. This is very important because in 2028, I think exactly because Trump cannot run for the presidency as well, it is the best momentum to push for the more centrist government, to push for centrist policies as well, for people to actually focus on these Democrats political candidate for you to actually win the entire election.
Doesn't Kamala's loss and Trump far-right campaign win proves to you that centrist doesn't work and extreme works?
It works in status quo, but we're talking about the future, right? We're talking about 2028, in which if people already see how horrible Trump is, either it is your policies towards Gaza, for instance, or how your policy towards people underground, towards immigrants, towards LGBTQ community, towards how these people underground are able to live, they will most likely condemn these far-left or far-right candidates exactly because it is that extreme. It's very easy for a lot of these media companies to frame them as the most evil political